Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's Thursday night. We are back after an amazing eBay open week, and it is time for Thrifty Business on a Thursday night. I'm your one host, Vegas J. What's happening, everybody? Kind of a weird weather going on here. For all of you who were here last week when it was super hot, it ain't so super hot no more.
Oh, nice.
It's crazy cloudy and rainy, and it's in the 90s. So the second you guys all left, the weather went right back to normal. Like, zip.
Wow, it was too hot.
Let's say with me tonight is my co-host, Debbie.
Hey, I survived. We got home at 9 o'clock last night, driving all day long.
So Debbie's here, and let's get right to our first segment, and then we'll talk about our guest here. Time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week, I drink a different rum out of a different tiki mug, and I try and match it to our guests, and thanks to my wife's idea, it can't be any more perfect than it will be tonight. So let's bring our guest on. And I totally forgot to ask you, John, did I say your name right in the Facebook Live earlier?
That was very close. It's commonly mispronounced throughout my life. So you were very close. It's McTighe, actually.
McTighe. All right. Well, Jason Smith is super easy. No one mispronounces that. But John McTighe. John was one of the finalists for the Click-and-Mortar category in the eBay Shine Awards. And John owns a vacuum store. And so here's the rum I have tonight. Now, we couldn't figure out a rum to go with vacuums because there really wasn't anything. But we're going to talk about this a little bit later. John likes to be on the water and out boating. So I decided to bust open a brand new bottle of Mount Gay Eclipse because it's got all the nautical flags on it. Okay. Nice. Now, are you ready for the best? Are you ready for the best, John?
Yep.
This is not a tiki mug, but Debbie just handed me this glass while she was here. And what would be better than suck them up?
Oh, there we go. Perfect. Absolutely.
Come on now. Suck them up. Yeah. It's vacuums. Hello. Could it be any better? I don't think so.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
All right, Johnson, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We'll see you in about 30 minutes.
All right.
All right. Let's get right to our first segment, shall we? Time for our scores of the week, where Debbie and I share with you all the cool stuff we've sold in the last, 2 weeks now. And these are usually bolos. Be on the lookout. Things that you should be hunting for to flip in your eBay store. Deb, you are up first.
All righty. Okay, this is from my profit pile. I mean, it was really, I've had this a long time, and it sold for $35. It's a teacher's edition textbook, and I figured 2004, who wants that? But it sold, and it sold really quickly after I finally got it listed.
I'll say that's old news, 2004. What the heck?
Yeah, that's why I almost donated it, and I thought, oh, what the heck? I'll check, and I sold it. Aren't these cool? I bought these a couple years ago.
They're very cool.
I know, another profit pile piece. I thought they might sell for Halloween, but I don't know if the person bleached them or they came like this, but they sold for $29.99. Levi's. All these profit pile things sell really quickly after I finally get them listed.
Well, that's how it works.
Yeah, and this is a Bible. It's a leather. You can look on the back and they'll say bonded leather. So people like to buy used Bibles. A lot of times they had a Bible for quite a while, and then they lose it, and they want one because they know right where everything is in that Bible. So watch out for Bibles when you're out sourcing. They do sell.
What's the best Bible you have sold?
The best one I sold was, I'm trying to think, it was from the 1800s. It was a great big heavy thing with I don't think it was silver, like pewter, maybe hinges. It was an old family Bible. It was carved into it, and I think it only sold for about $150. But it was awesome. It was just gorgeous. Yeah.
From Bibles to hip hop wear.
Yes, we just sold this, and I think I sourced it for $6.99. I have a little store by the beach that we like to go to, a Goodwill, and every time I go in there, I find cool stuff. And oddly enough, appears to us that the person that bought this is like maybe a CEO of some company called Oved or Over or something like that. I don't know. So it went to somebody that works for the company, I believe.
Very
Isn't
cool.
it gorgeous though? I love that.
Yeah. So right from your colorful thing to mine, and I'm asking the chat right now, ignore the title for a second. If you just saw this shirt hanging up, would you stop and look at it? It's basically small blue flowers. Would this even catch your eye enough to be like, I should grab that? And the reason I ask is because it is a Rain Spooner before it was Rain Spooner, back when it was just Rains.
Wow.
And Rain and Spooner got together at one point. And I sold this shirt for $78, and I paid $3.99 for it.
That's nice.
So that was awesome to get that sale. And then this one, the group helped me with. I found this wooden wrestler, and he was autographed on the back, and I didn't know who he was. But you know how the thrifting board is, man. They know their stuff, and so while I'm thrifting, right away people are like, "Oh yeah, that is Blue Demon Jr., and he is the adopted son of Blue Demon, and here's his name and all this stuff." And it was awesome. And so I think I paid $7 for it, and this went to a super fan of wrestling, and we had a lot of back and forth chats about it. So he paid $32 for it.
Nice.
Now, I always talk about selling your trash. This is the pen I used to sign my credit card slip with at Club 33. Oops, I took it home. And these are 2 paper towels from the bathroom.
Nice.
And, I didn't sell it for a ton, but it was just free stuff, so to speak. So $17 plus shipping because it went internationally.
Cool.
And this is a Rob Zombie shirt for House of a Thousand Corpses. I had seen one sell for $75. Had mine up for a few months, but finally got an offer of $60, and I only paid $5 for it. So I was very happy to see that go turn $5 into $60. And I just realized I'd forgotten to do something. So let me, while Debbie was talking, I made a quick new slide. Here we go. I forgot to share my best CD sale of the week. This is the Moody Blues.
Oh, I love them.
Days of Future Past was a very special version of it in digital surround. I paid $1 and I sold it for $60. Now, if you want to learn a ton more about CDs, in September, I'm doing a CD webinar that anyone can take. And it'll be all about CDs, what to look for, how to find it, how to sell amazingly priced CDs. So that is coming up in September. So stay tuned.
It's going to be awesome.
All right. You've seen our scores now. It's time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours.
Okay, it looks, it sold for $19.99, so it's not too much of a dud, except that I think it was listed for like 4 years.
No, another one of these 4-year ones, huh?
And it was actually listed. It wasn't just sitting in my profit piles unlisted. So I was happy to see that go. I only paid $1 for it, so.
Yeah, still made a couple bucks. That's all right.
Yeah. Well, this is an interesting story. You may have heard me talk about. I got a set of this Bennington Potter's pottery. I got my listings mixed up. This has a chip on it, and so someone sent me an offer of $9.99, and I went, "Uh-oh." I didn't think anyone would buy that bowl, so I put it in the trash. And then I saw that it sold, and I went, "This is impossible." But I found the bowl, scrubbed it all nice and clean, and off it went. So it was kind of a dud, but it turned into a good one. Still sold for $9.99.
All right, now my first dud is kind of a dud because of what it is. The band is called State Champs, and they sold a flag at their concert merch booth. Now, imagine trying to find a State Champs flag on eBay or anywhere. I mean, that would bring up so much stuff. Like if you're looking for this band, it's going to be hard to find this as opposed to someone won the state champ of football or basketball. I mean, it's such a wrong name. And so I didn't have it up super long, but once I got an offer, I'm like, I think I'm just going to take it. The band's not that big. And I paid $3 and, so I made, $10 or something, but I'm just like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have bought that. Thinking about State Champs flag. Yeah. And then this is an EDC
cool.
for Electric Daisy Carnival, which happens every year, where all the all the kids get together and do a lot of ecstasy and listen to dance music all night. I thought it'd be cool because it was on the Insomniac brand. Insomniac is who produces Electric Daisy Carnival, but it sat forever and ever and ever. And someone finally made me an offer of $10 with free shipping. I happily took it, so I get rid of it.
You might have forgot an important keyword, LGBTQT, or however that goes. You know, somebody in the gay community might have loved that.
True. Yeah, never even thought about that. So you are absolutely right. All right, so now it's time for where in the world did our stuff go? Now, again, Debbie didn't have any international sales this week. I am sure they're turned off, Debbie. There's no way we haven't had an international sale in like a month. There's no way.
Well, I don't know. I'll check my settings, but now tomorrow I'm going to probably sell 2.
Yeah. Now mine comes a little bit of a story tonight. So I'm selling my friend's record collection. He gave me 7,000 records to sell.
Wow.
And as we were loading the truck up, he goes, oh, I got a few other things. So he gave me this thing and that thing and this tiki thing. And then he goes, hey, do you sell this Italian bike seat? I go, yeah. Are you a biker? He said, no. I bought something totally unrelated on Amazon, and this is what showed up.
Oh, wow.
I told Amazon I didn't get what I ordered. They sent me what I ordered, and they said, just keep this. So he handed it to me to sell, and it was listed for about 2 weeks, and it sold for $109. So an Italian bike seat sold from Las Vegas, United States, and it went to Canterbury, Australia, right outside of Melbourne. So
and if you are... Isn't it interesting that you had a guest in your house this week from Australia?
Yeah, true. You know, and that's why we recommend, even though Debbie's not getting any sales, we recommend selling internationally because there's 320 million people in the U.S., 7.6 billion people in the world. You might as well have as many possible customers as you can. All right, now it's time for our thrifty tips of the week. This segment is brought to you by Stamps.com, postage on demand. Print your postage home with just the internet and a computer and a printer. These are little tips and tricks to help you around the thrift store be a better thrifter.
When we did the thrifting class in Vegas this week, I was talking to a gal who was checking out. This isn't her item, but she had this item, jacket, she was going to pay $24.99, half price. I picked it up, immediately opened it up, and her collar looked just like that all across. It was all cracked. And she was so thankful. And then I hold shirts up, like the Hawaiian shirts, to see any light. If there's any holes, you know, the light will come through. Inside of books, I just paid $10. I was so excited to get a set of books. Value tells for $10. I failed to look inside, and every one, the glue was bad, and they were full. The pages are falling out. Look inside board games. We get really excited that, oh, look what I found. Sometimes we forget to double check it before we check out. Yep.
That is always a good tip. I've done that where I got home. I go, oh crap, I never checked. It's missing half the stuff. Damn it. All right, so here's my thrifty tip. We often talk about old media still being good. Of course, I've just talked about my CD webinar coming up, and I showed you a $60 CD. I sell a ton of records. I sell a ton of cassettes. But there are a few medias that don't sell, and you don't even want to go near. So we all remember the great war of beta versus VHS. That lasted for a while, and there are some beta tapes worth some money still. When Blu-rays came out, basically the same day Blu-rays came out, a competing type came out called HD DVD. And HD DVD lost the war in about 4.5 months, and they were gone. So there's no players around. There's nothing. And so although you can thrift some Blu-rays and make good money, no one cares about HD DVDs. This was a picture I took today at the thrift store. So if you see HD DVDs, don't even waste your time scanning them or looking them up, because no one has a player. That's why they lost. Blu-ray won, and they won rather quickly.
Oh, good idea. Good tip.
Now it's time for You Have Got to Be Ship Me. Little tips and tricks what to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping. And I did not have a tip for today until I got my mail. All right, so Devin, do you first while I grab my example.
Okay, keep tabs on your shipped items. Often we ship the item, we really don't think about it again. We watch for feedback. But you should know before your buyer contacts you that, hey, where's my package? You shipped it a month ago. We should know that. So go into your tab where you're sold, and you can. I don't know how long this has been here on the left where it says delivered July 18th. I don't know if eBay just added that recently. That's awesome, because I used to have to click on my tracking You click on your tracking number, and then a little box pops up to tell you that it was delivered. And I love how they tell you front porch or wherever. So be aware, just check on your items as they're out there to make sure that you don't get surprised by a buyer who's mad because their package isn't there yet. So stay ahead of that. Give them good customer service.
All right, Deb, this is my, oh, are you kidding me?
I can't wait.
Today.
I can't wait.
Okay, so I'm driving home. I went out thrifting this morning. I'm driving home, and I'm like, man, I got no shipping tip today. So I'm starting to rattle through my head. What haven't I talked about in a long time? And as I walked up the front door, this was sitting on the porch, and I picked it up. I'm like, there is nothing in here. Okay, look how big this box is. You ready for what's in here?
Oh, I can't wait.
Now, we've all seen huge companies like Amazon use big boxes for small things. As an individual seller, and that's what this is. Oops, hide the address. You should never be this far off in terms of size to ratio of the item. All right, in this gigantic box,
drum roll,
is a record.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. And it's a record that is bounced back and forth because also in this gigantic box, here's all the padding. Now that did nothing. Why put this padding in there? That did nothing.
Wow, that sucks.
So,
that sucks, just like vacuum cleaners.
Yes. So there it is with the padding. Are you kidding me right now?
Sad.
Are you kidding me?
That is
so here's this record banging around from wherever he lives. Did I just throw that away? Oh, yeah. He lives in Providence, Rhode Island. So this is banged around back and forth, up and down from Providence, and he shipped it media mail. It weighs 1 pound. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? 1 pound can go first class. It should have been shipped first class in the appropriate mailer. And don't think I'm not going to message him.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm going to tell him he needs to join the thrifting board and stop selling records so he learns how to ship them properly.
And he could have run into the risk of that box being oversized.
Oh, yeah. And why ship that 1 pound media mail in the heat of summer, have it bounce around forever when a one pound record, like I've shipped thousands of, can go at first class?
They need you, Jason. Need to learn.
I know. Someone asked me what they charge for shipping. I'm going to go look. I think, yeah, they need definite help. They free shipping.
Oh, wow.
That giant box for free shipping. What? Ay.
That's why you're here.
Yeah, no kidding. Time for our eBay tips of the week. Little tips and tricks to help you with your eBay listings. And to back up one thing, the only thing I'm not mad at, Deb, is that's a good box now. Yes. That box is thick. It is heavy duty. I did not have one that shape. So there's my silver lining. Like, ooh, I got a nice box that I should not have received.
Yep, I know. Okay, I just found out about this app. This is an app that you can buy for $3.99. It's only for iPhone right now. But Julie and Juanita, friends that were at eBay Open, were the ones that found out about this and told me. So look into the App Store. This is really fun because says you can take eBay business to the next level and outsmart your competitors with detailed insights into what sells and what doesn't. It's a simple way of browsing eBay completed listings. And then you can also put in a competitor's user ID, like we used to be able to do, and find out it's compatible with US and the UK. So look into this, get average selling prices, follow sellers to track sales. I was looking at Jason's user ID and telling him, I told him something he just sold. He goes, yeah, I did, because I had this little app. So look into it. I don't know exactly, everything about using it yet, but I'm going to learn. It's fun.
And we have nothing to do with the app. We're not making any money from the app. It's just something that we were alerted to that I'm like, ooh, that's kind of cool.
Yep.
All right. So here is my eBay tip for the week. Now, this is something I have talked about many, many times. When you sell, you do not have to base your pricing on what retail is. Now, I often sell tiki mugs that I bought at a tiki bar for well more than I paid for them. Those people could go to the tiki bar and or order online. They don't. Who cares? Who knows? I make money. I'm happy. Here is a shirt. How many times it has sold recently on eBay new? Obviously the same seller, same backdrop. So we got 4 across, 4, 8, 12, all at $100. Now, Deb, if you saw that shirt new for $100 and you had to use one, what would you normally price it at?
Probably about 75, somewhere around there, 60.
Hell no, same price.
Good.
So I priced it at the same price, and I ran a little bit of a sale, and it sold for $91.86. Nice. So I am just $7 under the obviously constant retail. This shirt on eBay used, and it went internationally.
Nice.
So do not be afraid to ask for more money than you think you should.
Yep, that's a great point.
Because someone found, funny enough, while we were partying at the Double Down, which is a bar here in Vegas, someone on the thrifting board who couldn't make it to eBay Open thrifted one of the Double Down toilet mugs in Texas and said, well, I see it sells for like $15 on the website or $20, so I'm gonna list it for 12. I'm like, hell no, you're not. You're gonna list it for 30 because no one pays attention to the website.
Good.
And this is proof. There's a customer. There's a seller selling them all day long for $100, or you can get it used for me for 92. Now, if it was me, I'd spend the $7 and get it brand new. It's only $7.
Oh yeah.
You know, but someone else is like, nah, man, I'll pay $92 for used plus shipping because it went to England. Woo!
Now I wonder if they had the XXL, because you have a larger size there.
Well, let's see here. Now, I blew it up to the point where we can't see it, but that could be it. That could be it.
But no, great job.
Yep. So Money says the Double Down is closed. Yeah, it was closed for less than 12 hours. It's clean and reopened. No biggie. That's how it works. You get your stuff together and you reopen. So it ain't closed. All right. Now it's time for. I don't think that was the right one. There we go. Drifting outside your comfort zone. You should go into a thrift store and conquer your niche. But once you get done with that, you better go find some other stuff because typically your niche is not going to pay all the bills. You got to learn. You got to learn. All right, Deb, what'd you get?
Well, do you see this? It's some kind of vase. There's no markings, but holy cow, how am I going to ship this thing?
Wow.
I don't know why. I picked it up because it reminded me of when I was a little girl. We had vases and stuff like this in our house, and it just drew my eye. And then I thought, uh-oh, I have no clue because that's not real thick. So wish me luck.
Let me see that again. That's pretty wicked. That is...
It is. Do you want it?
No, but it's cool as hell.
It's silver paint. And I mean, I totally had a flashback to being in junior high when I saw this and my mom's coffee table. And yeah, really cool.
All right. So I thrifted this today on sale for $3.75. Now, I've never, ever bought medical equipment before. And what's nice about this stethoscope is, if I can open it, it's got the stethoscope, obviously. It's got extra ear things.
Nice.
And it's got a little pen light, like, So I paid $3.75, and I'm going to show you what the last one sold for. Hey, $40.
Whoa. Wow, it almost kind of looks like a toy. The box, maybe?
Yeah. So this is leading me up. Now I'm going to talk about... let me move this right here real quick. I'm going to talk about upcoming shows because tomorrow night, Friday. Oh, I wrote June 3rd. Sorry. That should say August 3rd. I forgot we're in August. How I went back 2 months, I have no idea. Tomorrow night, August 3rd, 4 p.m. Oh, boy, I really screwed that up. It is 7 p.m. Eastern. So ignore everything there. Tomorrow night, August 3rd, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Cheryl Hinton was in Vegas for eBay Open. She thrifted a ton of cool stuff. And so her and I are going to show what we thrifted last week. And this will make a return appearance tomorrow night for a very specific reason. And so it'll be kind of a bonus thrifting tip. Okay.
Nice. That's
so
going to
tune
be
in
awesome.
tomorrow night to see. Now, tomorrow night, August 3rd, 7 p.m. Eastern. Man, I must have been drunk when I was making that sign. Oops.
You got the Friday right.
I know. I got the Friday right, and that's it. All right. Those of you in Seattle, you are my next class, and it is filling up fast. I was just talking to my boy John, who does all my back end stuff. And he goes, man, we sold a lot of tickets this week. I said, ooh, that's awesome. And I just got contacted by an employee of Savers who wants to take my class while I'm there. Isn't that great?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that cool?
And
she's not in the store. She's at the home office kind of thing. So August 24th and 25th. 24th is the thrift store class where myself and I'm going to have my friend Stephanie help me out. We take you around. There she is. We're going to take you around the thrift store section by section. And what's cool is when I have a helper, I'll be working with you in one section. She'll be prepping the next. Then I'll hand you guys off to her while she's teaching you that section. I'll be prepping the next. We will spend a lot of time in the media section because there's so much crazy money to be made. Then August 25th is the classroom class where we spend about 4 hours in a classroom setting in a hotel meeting room. And I'm going to teach you everything A to Z, start to finish, bolos you should be looking for. Once you get them home, how to take quality photos of them, how to do quality listings, and how to ship it, and how to use social media to push your items, and the shipping, the listing. It is all live demonstrations. There's a link down below, and the link takes you to all my upcoming classes. So not just Seattle. We have Washington, D.C., September 14th and 15th. We got Minneapolis, September 28th and 29th. We've got Houston, October 13th and 14th. My hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, November 2nd and 3rd. And the Miami, Florida, Fort Lauderdale area, November 30th and December 1st. So the link is down below. If any of those classes work for you or you have a friend who would benefit from those classes, send them over to the link. And we're going to have a ton of great fun. We're doing tiki bar hangouts, the whole work. So come sign up for a class. If you got any questions, just drop me a note on Facebook. Coming up Sunday. Look, Deb, I got this one correct.
Yay.
Sunday night, finally, I got my next tiki adventure destination, Ohana Luau at the lake. My wife, Stacy, and I went up to upstate New York. We met my parents and some other friends to go to a weekend tiki event where we vended. And so we're gonna talk about the event itself, what it's like vending. The room parties were off the hook. The food, the bands, it was incredible. So if you're into the tiki stuff at all, or just want to, and my show is like a travel log. Typically I talk about bars in the city, but this time I'm talking about an event, and I've got many of these coming up. So this will be my Luau at the Lake one, Sunday night, 7 p.m. And then lastly, I just spoke at ASD, the big wholesale convention here in Vegas. And every August, they have me speak about what we just learned is coming up at eBay from eBay Open. And so I thought, well, geez, I might as well give everyone who wasn't there the same presentation. So if you weren't able to make it to eBay Open, I'm going to be giving you a recap of not so much about like the extracurriculars, but the important stuff that eBay is doing for us to help us be better sellers, to bring more buyers to the platform. So Tuesday, August 7th, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, I will be doing, this will be about a 30-minute show, unless, and I'll answer any questions. But if you were not able to attend eBay Open, I will give you the breakdown of what we learned. And here is the great group photo of the giant wave of awesomeness that is known as the Thrifting Board Surfers.
It was awesome.
All right. Oh, that was it. All right, cool. Let us switch over. So, Deb, what's for dinner tonight?
We have a tri-tip in the oven.
Oh, I'm coming over, Deb.
I know.
Smells good.
I know, it smells awesome.
I am coming over. All right, let's get our guest in here, shall we? Hey, what's happening, John? Welcome, John. Reliable Vacuum Store. I was like, what the heck's his business name?
Reliable.
You got it.
And real quick, I see people are missing my mom in the chat. My mom is on a plane to Italy right now. Wow. So, yes, and that's why Mom and I aren't doing a show this week. And Mom's on the chat because she'll be in Italy for the next, 8 days or so. But she is hitting the tiki bar in Rome. So, yay, Mom. So what's going on, John? How are you, sir?
Hey, pretty good. Very good. I just listening to your show. You guys have a lot of great content, good tips. I'll definitely try to schedule in that Minneapolis class on the 28th and 29th.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. And let me tell you about the Minneapolis class. There's going to be one very unique thing about that class. So I have 2 Facebook groups, the Thrifting Board and the Secret Beach, and in both of them is a gentleman by the name of Dennis Weddle. And Dennis is bringing 5 family members, including himself, and it's 3 generations.
Oh, love it.
It's him, who's like our age, and I think he's got a 16-year-old and like a mom or a grandma. I'm just like, wow, that'll be a first. A 3-generation family taking the class. That is so cool.
Awesome. Yes.
So yeah, love to have you come down. And there's a great tiki bar in Minneapolis, so we'll be doing a cool tiki bar hangout too. So
fun.
But let's back up. Let's back up. So John, tell us where you live and how you got there. Are you married? You got pets? You own a horse? What do you got?
Yeah. I'm up in the North Dakota country of the city of Fargo. I lived up here most of my adult life, either in North Dakota or Minnesota. So lifelong resident and business owner. So
nice.
No horses. I've got a cat, but yeah.
Married, kids, anything like that?
Yep. I have one son. I'm not married. My son, he's the de facto shipping department for me. So yeah.
Awesome.
Now, was that by choice or by force?
Dictator, yes.
All right, so you were a finalist in the Shine Awards, but before we get to that, you're in the vacuum cleaner business. You suck them up, and so how'd you end up in the vacuum cleaner business? Yeah,
there's so many jokes in the vacuum business you could go with. Where do you start? Yeah, I didn't think growing up I wanted to be in the vacuum business when I got older. But I was actually in the cleaning business. That I owned a cleaning business for several years, and this was kind of an offshoot of that, so to speak. So that's kind of how I got into it. I ended up just opening a store inside of a grocery store, actually, which is where we're still at today. And I basically just put some vacuums up on the shelf, and people started buying them and coming in and asking about repairs and stuff like that, and it just kind of grew from that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so, did the grocery store just have like extra space? I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, so we're located inside a grocery store, which there was a bank branch actually where our store is located, and they closed that branch down, and the space remained vacant for a while. So we were able to get in it relatively cheap. So I thought it was going to be a great idea. In theory, I was like, all this traffic coming by, they're going to be lining up buying stuff from us. But the reality was a different story. It ended up people kind of gave us weird looks, and they didn't know what we were doing. And so it kind of fell on its face initially.
Well, it's interesting because we all need vacuum cleaners, whether we like to use them or not. It's a good thing to have.
Mm-hmm. It actually was. It's a good business because of that. The thing that's helped us obviously has been going online and selling, and eBay definitely was what helped do that, or helped keep our doors open. Actually, we were kind of struggling at the store level for a while, and kind of hit a ceiling as far as what we were making, and I kind of, it was a moment of desperation. I needed to do something to make more money, so eBay was kind of the idea that I had, and we started selling stuff, and it just kind of grew from there. So
that is so awesome. I was so excited to have you on the show. We kind of met accidentally in a Facebook group. You asked people to vote for you for Shine Award, and I said, I've been voting for you every single day. I loved your story.
I appreciate that. Yes.
Yeah. So then we kind of, became Facebook friends. And then when I walked into eBay Open, guess who was standing right there about at the top of the escalator? John was. So connected and started talking, and I was excited to have you come on and talk about vacuum cleaners.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And it was just such a great experience, and seeing you there too. You introduced me to like 15 people, like just the first 3 minutes of me being there. So I was overwhelmed, and it's like, wow, she knows everyone here.
That was fun.
And then Jason, I met Jason, and when I met you, I really didn't know who you were outside of just Debbie introducing us, and I was like, wow, who's this guy? He's got like all these people around him and people talking to him, so that was pretty good.
My thought is, man, I'd be so fat if I worked outside in a grocery store.
Yeah.
It's a quiet day at the vacuum store. I'm like, I'm gonna go get some ho-hos.
Yeah. plenty of snacks. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So I'm assuming you have to turn on the vacuum cleaner. So are people in the grocery store like, what the hell?
Well, we're in our own area, so it doesn't affect it that much. But when I'll be testing a vacuum, I'll sometimes run it outside of the store into the grocery store, and then you'll get a lot of looks from people like, well, what's going on here? So yeah,
great idea. Suck them into your store.
Yeah, gets their attention. So
yeah, that's cool.
So what? So you got on eBay, and had you ever sold on eBay before that, or even bought it? Had you ever bought something on eBay before that?
Yes, I mean, I'm relatively new on eBay. I've been selling for coming up on a couple of years. Prior to that, I bought a few things, and I think I might have sold a few things years ago. You're mentioning that story about that record coming in a big box. And it's funny because I remember, I think one of the items I sold like several years ago, it was a record, and how I packed it, I packed it in a pizza box and sent it out, and that was it fit perfect. So
good idea.
Yeah.
Yep. So now you took your son with you to open, right?
I did, yes. Yep. He did come along. He was extremely happy to be there once he went to the pool area and saw all the girls that were out there around his age.
Oh, how fun.
Is that why I didn't see him?
Yeah.
Oh, a Vegas pool in the summertime. Yeah, Dad, have fun. If you open inside, I'll be at the pool. I'll be at the giant wave pool of the beach.
Yep.
What a trip of a lifetime for both of you.
Yep. Yeah, it was real good. Very grateful. I learned a lot. I'm kind of still learning, and your page and YouTube channel here, it's a great resource for guys like me because it gives me a lot of ideas. So
now, do you sell other items besides just eBay? I mean, vacuum cleaner parts and things. Outside that?
Well, I've sold a few things here or there, on eBay outside of the parts that we sell, but definitely would like to expand into some other areas.
Good.
As mundane as vacuum parts are, they're not as consistently selling as you would think. There is a season to those parts too. So, like
is
right now,
really? There's a season to vacuum cleaner parts?
Yeah, so after school starts, it really ramps up, going actually into the holiday season. And then there's a drop off in the summertime. So, when you mention looking for other items at the thrift store, it gets my attention to look for some items that can sell when those items are not selling. So,
good.
Sure.
Go ahead, Deb.
I was going to say, I was excited to have you on because maybe you can teach us too to maybe source some vacuum cleaner parts. Are there little parts, or if I went in and bought a vacuum cleaner, didn't want to ship it, I could maybe take it apart and sell some of the parts.
Yeah, I like selling parts because it's just easier on shipping. It's not as bulky, and you can get some pretty good prices on certain brands. If you find Dyson parts or accessories, those
write that down.
Yeah, those are always very sellable. The same with Oric, Riccar, Simplicity vacuums. If you run into Miele, that's a German vacuum. Those are sought after. Kirby is a little bit. So is Electrolux. If you get into some of the older stuff.
Nice.
So those, yeah.
That would be fun. Something.
Shit, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
So, if you found an electric lux at a garage sale for like $5 or $10, would you snag it?
Normally, yes. Yep.
Okay.
The parts on most of these vacuums, quite honestly, they're a lot of them are rare or hard to find. And when you've got that item, obviously in eBay, it just, you got a wide net to cast from. We would never be able to sell most of this in 100 years at the store level, but because it's on eBay, we can turn it a lot more quickly. So,
oh, that's awesome.
yeah. The one thing that I do locally with thrift stores, we've gotten to know the managers of several of the thrift stores around here, and some of them will just call us when they've got a bunch of vacuums and say, hey, here's what we got. If you want them, just come and, grab them from us. So
sweet. Walk in and grab them and leave.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
now I see you say you also sell McTighe. Now, is that vacuum cleaner parts on McTighe?
Dyson mainly.
Wow.
Just certain some of the I guess hand vacs have parts that have been going for pretty good money there. So I've sold those on McTighe fairly successfully. So
awesome.
Yeah.
And you have a Shopify store as well?
Yep. Most of the Shopify sales I get are from local sales that I've driven to my Shopify store. So they'll go to that, pay for it, sometimes pick it up in the store or ship out to them. So
nice. You're smart.
Yeah.
What is the most expensive vacuum cleaner that you've sold?
Let me think about that. So if you get into some of the vintage vacuums, some of them go for pretty good money. I sold an Electrolux that was 1952 Electrolux that was chrome plated.
Oh wow!
And that went for, I think it was right around $600 to $700. So
nice.
Yeah,
I wonder if they go to prop houses for like movies.
Yeah, that one it was very retro. It had the red lettering on it and chrome. It was pretty cool. So I actually had gotten that one donated to us. It didn't. We a guy was cleaning out his grandma's attic and just had extra stuff. So that was one of the things in his attic.
How nice. Now, do you repair? Do people bring their vacuum cleaners in for you to repair?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So we do quite a bit of repair work. That's honestly the bread and butter of the retail side of it. So yeah, absolutely.
So how many? You keep saying we. How many people do you have working with or for you?
I got 3 right now, and then my son. He's kind of like half. So
he's kind of half.
But yep, I've got one person that he basically cleans and preps parts, and then I've got a helper at the store, and then she also helps with some of the listing and stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
See, I thought vacuum cleaner stores were out of business these days, but that's good to hear.
They proliferate online. Yep. So Leslie says she has a Samsung Power Bot that is broken, hopes to get it listed for parts. Only used it about 5 times and it broke. Mm-hmm. John sell those robot type vacuums like Roombas and stuff.
Yeah, so the robot vacuums are real popular. In fact, when I was at eBay, I got approached by someone from eBay asking me about being able to list more robot related items as they were in demand. So even the parts, the ones that don't work, the parts sell for quite a bit of money. So if you run across a robot vacuum like that, even if it's not working, you can still get some pretty good money for the parts.
So fun. Who knew?
And that leads to the next question from Paul. Is it just certain parts or all parts? So if you've got a broken vacuum that, the belt doesn't run or whatever, but can you pretty much just mantle and sell the rest of everything, like the handle,
Yeah, a lot of times handles, dust bins. If it's a bagless vacuum, the dust bins will oftentimes people look for those because they'll crack one. The same with switches, power cords, even the vacuum motor. If it's a vacuum that's in demand, like a Dyson, if you get a motor out of a Dyson, those will go for some pretty good money, even pre-owned. So
how would you test it? If I took a motor out of a Dyson, how would I know if it worked or not?
You could take a couple of electrical ends and hook up to it and then plug it in.
Okay.
If you see sparks, it's probably not working very well. So
okay. Wow, good to know.
What when you break down these vacuums or fix them, do you ever find anything embarrassing stuck in the back?
I thought you were going to say money. I didn't know you were going that way.
Well, that too. You find any money or anything embarrassing?
Yeah, you find as much funky stuff inside a vacuum as you'd expect to find on the floor. So my advice is, if you're doing that, wear gloves when you're working with those items. Yeah.
When you mentioned the dustbin thingy, when I worked years ago in a cabinet shop, I was vacuuming the showroom, and somehow, I don't know what I did wrong, and the dust hit and it all went up in my face because I didn't have the dustbin closed.
That's a daily occurrence for me. So you get all manner of vacuums with pet hair and every nasty thing you can imagine. So
you probably got to watch out for needles too. People, little pins and needles poking things.
Yep.
Our last house here, our first house in Vegas had like Kelly green carpeting, and when we were trying to sell it, we had 3 pugs, 2 were fawn colored, and so for about 3 or 4 months, I had to vacuum twice a day, every day, in the morning and the afternoon, because people kept coming to see the house. And man, 2 fawn colored pugs and green carpeting do not go together.
Oh, wow.
that is not a match made in heaven. All right, so you get into selling vacuums, you start selling on eBay, and how do you find out about the Shine Awards?
That's a good question. I think it was a combination. Maybe they had sent an email about it, but I had also talked to somebody on the phone because I had inquired about their program for retail stores and getting signage, and somebody there had mentioned it to me as well. So, I'd applied after that and signed up for it. So yeah.
Nice, how fun!
Were you blown away that you were top 3 in your category?
Yeah, I really, when I got the phone call from eBay, I just about hung up on Brian. I thought maybe it was a prank phone call or telemarketing. So, the next day I got an email and I was like, oh, well, maybe this is real. So, it was definitely shocking, surprising, but very grateful to be part of it.
Yeah, you guys really get wined and dined, and that's so awesome.
It was amazing. Yeah, top level. All of the drinks, at night, as hot as it was in Vegas, I was doing a lot of drinking just to stay hydrated.
Yeah, it was really hot.
And so did you that was your first time at eBay Open, correct?
Yes. Yep.
And so you saw it from kind of a VIP standpoint.
Right.
So how was it?
Yeah. Were those rooms nice?
Yeah. Oh, it was top level. Everything that they did was very good. We got dinner with the executive team of eBay. We met Devin Wenig. We sat with all of the top level people at our table. Got what was the place? Got to go to Top Golf.
Oh, cool.
You know, we went to the Brooklyn Bowl, which, you know, they put us up at the top area there, and
Yeah.
you know, that was great, and everyone thought Bruno Mars was going to be there. So
Jason said no. Jason knew that we had a bet. We knew he wasn't coming, but it was fun. They played 2 of his songs though.
They did, yeah. A lot of but yeah, really good, excellent.
Yeah. So
and where'd you go to dinner that night? You know?
Which night? The night of so we
like when you were with Devin and all them.
That was at the top of the Mandalay. I think it was the Riviera or Riviera. One of the two was at the top of the hotel. Yeah, beautiful scenery. You could see the whole city. You know, great food. Yep.
How fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yep. Congratulations on getting that to that point. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it was great. You know, so.
Well, I know when I was talking to him, he goes, "I have to go now. I have to go to rehearsal." I thought, you guys have rehearsals?
Yeah, yeah. They had us kind of go through if we won, where we would stand, what we would do, which basically amounted to going up, you know, shaking hands and getting a picture taken, and then go sit back down. So it wasn't too tough, but you know, I think everyone is very nervous, you know, so it was they want to make sure everyone was comfortable going up there.
That's awesome that they do that for you.
And how many times did you practice walking and shaking hands?
Yeah. Right.
Oh, is that with the right hand or the left hand? I always screw that part up.
Yeah.
Oh, so fun.
So we had a couple questions. Heather says, ever find any good jewelry?
Oh.
A couple of earrings, nothing, you know, very expensive though. Yeah. Okay. So nothing too fancy usually that way.
And then Paul says, do you have a good site for researching vacuum parts? Is there like a vacuum part website?
You know, honestly, eBay is a pretty good tool for that. You know, if you find something and you want to see if anything like it's being sold, eBay is kind of the place. You know, you could look at the company's website that manufactures a vacuum, but they're not always the best to find the value of what it is you're selling. So
good point.
Yeah.
We're all going to be out looking for vacuum cleaners now.
All right. So, and that's a good way to lead right into your sexy scores of the week.
Sure.
So look at this sexiness. Dyson U-bend assembly.
Yeah. Yep. Looks like it goes underneath your sink at home.
Yeah, it does.
So that's off of a Dyson vacuum. Like the first Dyson vacuum was a DC-07. So this is a common part that either gets lost or broken. This one actually came off a vacuum that was donated to us, so there's no cost into it. We just clean them up and relist it.
Nice.
That's one sexy piece, Debbie. Let's look at this next side.
Whoa.
Sexy piece.
Yep.
Kind of looked like a gun for a minute there.
Yeah, just a switch housing. Again, no cost for us in the parts. So, you know, we just clean it up, make sure it works, and off it goes. So easy to ship, easy to pack.
Nice. That's what we like.
Yep.
Now we're getting real sexy. Cords. Inner cords. There we go.
Oh, I like the prices climbing too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would recommend if you do take parts off of a vacuum, put the part number on there for the vacuum. That way it gives you easier identification, and when people purchase it, they know that it's going for their vacuum. Again, this came off of a junked vacuum. The motor worked, the switch worked, so off that goes for $27.
Nice.
Yep.
How fun.
And now we're getting this. Look at this.
Whoa. Big time.
$60 though. Hell yeah.
Yep. Yeah, same situation. You know, just the rest of the vacuum didn't work, so this was a part that we just took off of it, cleaned it up, you know, sent her off a little more for shipping on this because it's a little bit bigger and bulkier. But there's nothing that can really go wrong on these. So yeah, works out pretty good.
Do you get a lot of returns?
On
Like on these little parts where they get it and they say, "Oops."
I used to. I've gotten less lately because I've been marking them with either the part that we have, because what was happening was I was getting people returning their used part for the part that I sent.
The switcheroo.
Yeah, the switcheroo. So I've been marking our parts to make sure that, you know, if it comes back like the previous example you had there, that we know we're getting the thing back that we sent. So,
Oh, good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
And then, of course, when you think of vacuum parts, you think of a map of the moon.
Yeah, so I guess this is a more recent thrifting example, and just of a I happened to see these moon maps sitting there, and they had a bundle of them, so I picked them up, but they're $1 each, so I picked them all up. I think I got 10 of them. You know, I'm kind of a fan of space and the moon, so I thought they were kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it wasn't sucked up in a vacuum cleaner. We know that.
No. Yeah.
Cool.
And then, of course, you can't be all scores. Now,
There-
you have this as a dud. The price looks like not a dud, but there's more to it.
Yeah. So it's kind of a case of a pre-owned vacuum, and kind of leads from the example I talked before. The battery on this one he claimed was defunct, so I had to send a new battery out, which he was satisfied with that, but I'm not sure if the battery was actually bad or not. I think he just wanted an extra battery.
Yeah, it's hard to know in that situation.
Yep.
But of all the things, this looks the sexiest.
Yeah,
Yep.
it does. I love it. Looks space agey and kind of Jetsons.
Yep. Yeah.
And you know, we always ask our guests, give us something a little fun and interesting about yourself, and so this picture plays a role in that. So, John, you like fishing and boating and be on the water, but
Yeah. Well, when I'd sent you that message, I was just thinking of a story, because a few years ago I went out on a boat, and I can't swim, so I took my son's floaties, I put them on there, and I went out onto the boat and got a couple of laughs because they were asking if I needed saving, if those are going to do it. So.
Oh, too funny. Well, that's awesome that you don't let it stop you from swimming. From fishing, even though you can't swim.
Yeah, love the fish, love the water, just can't swim. So, yeah.
Do you ice fish? Do they have ice fishing there? Or is that not cold enough?
Oh yeah,
the cold has got to be definitely cold enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, I guess.
Sometimes ice gets about 2 feet deep here when dead of winter.
Oh my
so
gosh.
yeah, you drive your vehicle out on the lake.
Oh, that's crazy. Wear your floaties if you attempt that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So people are asking how to mark the items, but you just marked right on the item, right? The part number. Uh-oh.
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 Uh-oh. So, for instance, if John doesn't come back, here's this one. So you wrote right on the thing. So, of course, it's his handwriting. It doesn't matter that he wrote on this because this is an internal part. You know, he's not going to write, on something that is external. So every part either is internal or has an internal side to it. And so I could see he wrote the number on it in his handwriting. So it would be impossible for someone else to copy his handwriting exactly.
Right. Yeah, because I was thinking that. And there's also those markers that you can't see. People use some things that they're like markers you have to have, I think, a black light to even see that you wrote your name on it. You put a code on there.
Yep. So like this one, this is the outside of the item, which you would see to you and me. But once it's on the inside, here's the part number written in his handwriting on the inside. So there we go. That keeps down on people sending back their used one. So obviously, John's internet said bye.
Oh,
just that second he dropped out. But look at that. We're right at the top of the hour. So for our guests to have an internet issue, I'll take it at the top of the hour. I will absolutely.
Well, John, when you watched the replay, you were awesome. It was so fun to have you on the show.
John, I hope to see you in Minneapolis. Let me know if you got any questions, and we'll have a great time with my classes and with the Tiki Bar Hangouts. Oh, John's back. Hi, John.
Yay, you made it back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. My computer.
It happened.
Someone thought you might have drowned.
Yeah. My floaties.
So what we were saying is, thank you. It was great to meet you. It was fun to see, even though you didn't win, it was definitely fun to see your video on the big screen.
Yeah.
And it was great to have you on, because here's something that we've never talked about, and there's money to be made, and you're doing both the brick and mortar and online, and you want to branch out. You said to me, hey man, I'm in the thrift store looking for vacuum cleaners. I might as well look for a few other things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
And then tomorrow night, if you tune into my thrift haul tomorrow night with Cheryl, while I was out today, I found a car part, new old stock, still sealed. The last one sold for $129. I paid $3 for it today. So tune in tomorrow night for that. Wow. But you're right. While you're there, because what I used to do, John, was I only sold media, music, movies, record, CD kind of stuff. And one day, about 5 or 6 years into doing this, I looked around the thrift store and went, wow, there's way more in here than just media. I probably should learn some other stuff. Yeah. And then just start expanding my repertoire, and I buy all kinds of crazy things like spiked high heels and stethoscopes and all kinds of crazy shit. So, but you're there. You're already there. So you might as well learn a few other things. And then that way you can okay, I got the cool vacuum cleaners. Now I got the cool cassettes and the cool big bras, and I'm out of here.
And maybe your son can graduate from shipping into sourcing.
That's
there you go.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, John, thank you for being our guest tonight, and hopefully I'll see you in Minneapolis. Everyone else, thank you for tuning in live. Please give us a thumbs up down below. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Click that little bell. It lets you know I'm going live. And tomorrow night, I'm going live at 7 p.m. East Coast, 4 p.m. West Coast with my good friend Cheryl Hinton. We're doing a thrift haul tomorrow, showing all the cool stuff we thrifted last week.
Can't wait.
All over Vegas. I've been at thrift stores. I've been at record stores. I've been at antique stores. And I found crazy good stuff at antique stores. So we'll talk about that tomorrow night. And with that, Debbie, thank you for being my co-host.
Yes,
Stephanie, thank you for taking care of questions. And that's it. We're out of here. Bye, everybody.